Yes, I guess we are live now. Perfect. So guys, please confirm. Can you hear me properly and can you see my screen as well, which is XPath syntax sheet? Okay, so let me see a couple of questions. So I can see 3-4 messages from Dhruv Sharma regarding design pattern. Okay, we'll take that as well. Blaze, first please use your real name, otherwise your question will not be picked up. Hi everyone, hi Nishant, Manoj, Deepa, Rakesh, Richa, hello everyone. अभिषेक भारद्वाज सेज हाय मुकेश, क्या आपका इंटरनेट कनेक्शन भी बीएमपी वालों ने रोड खोद के काट दिया क्या? यस अभिषेक, आई एम फेसिंग लॉट ऑफ इश्यूज. आई एम ट्राइंग टू हैव वन मोर बैकअप कनेक्शन इन केस समथिंग गोज रॉन्ग, बट बीबीएमपी ने सबके ख़राब कर रखा है. ओके परफेक्ट. So one question from Dhruv which I want to call out. मुकेश भाई एक रिक्वेस्ट, एक सेशन 1.5 घंटे का डिज़ाइन पैटर्न कर दीजिए बिकॉज कंपनी का पूरा फ्रेमवर्क अलग हो जाता है. सी Dhruv is asking like can you cover a design pattern in 1.5 hours, because the moment he see company's framework is totally different what we see in the tutorials or maybe in the institute or while doing some online training. So one thing which I want to talk about the design pattern, that we don't have only single design pattern, we have multiple design patterns, right? So if I'm not wrong, around 19 design patterns we have. So which design pattern which fits in our framework is totally up to who is designing the framework. Whatever I have seen that in test automation majorly we use one is page object model and the singleton design pattern, right? But if you are designing a let's say mobile application or web application, definitely the design pattern will change. So if you talk about the framework keeps changing, right? Because somebody else have developed this framework. So let's say if I will design a framework, that will be different. Let's say if you will design a framework, that will be different. So depends how much experience that guy have, what is the background, what is the prior experience they have, right? Based on that, somebody can develop the framework. And I can totally understand that whenever you join a new company, you see a very big framework, very catchy, very complex. So first of all, it's not your fault, because it's not that always your framework is correct. Maybe somebody have written a bad code or not easy to understand code. So sometimes many resources struggle to understand that framework. So let me see if I can take session on the design pattern. Obviously I will not be covered to cover all of them, but at least 3 design pattern I can take which we use most of the time, and we can discuss the same. But again, small disclaimer, you will never find a standard framework in any company, any project, because we don't have any official framework from Selenium side, right? Everybody can design framework from their, I will say, experience, and they can start using it. So as I mentioned in the beginning, right, we also have Serenity framework, which is open source. So you can download that framework and you can start using it. So everybody can have a different framework. The main thing is you should follow certain rules and guidelines, and rest is up to you. Okay, so Puneet says, can a BCom background guy select a Java technical Java Selenium from the scratch? Yes, Puneet, why not? It is just you should have some basic understanding of testing, okay, before you jump into automation, because until you don't understand some terminologies like smoke, regression, sanity, bug, right, sprint, because ultimately automation is why we are doing, just to save the human effort. So until you don't understand how much time goes for the manual effort, why we need to go with automation, you will not be able to relate. But yes, answer is yes. I have seen many people who are from non-IT background, they jumped. Only thing that you need to see that first shortlist the companies which are hiring for non-IT graduate to their companies, because Many companies they have this kind of requirement, right, that they will only allow BE BTech, and then they have some price percentage criteria. Not all of them, but shortlist the companies which are hiring for non-ITs as well, and then you can start applying. Faizan Ansari says QA tester बनने के लिए roadmap क्या है sir? So Faizan, I already made like probably day 1 and day 2 we discussed about the roadmap, how you can get started. Please go ahead and watch day 1 or day 2. Okay. Blaze Forces says I changed my name. Okay, it's not reflecting. So his question, his name is Aditya, now it's reflecting. Is there any website where I can test my Selenium skills, where I can get assignment and stuff like lead code? So unfortunately, Aditya, we don't have any website as such like lead code where you can get assignment quizzes. So just search for Selenium quiz. You will get a couple of 5 to 6 websites where some basic questions are available that you can solve it. When it comes to practicing, what you can do, you can take some applications. If you're working already, take some manual test cases that you have already executed, try to automate them, because the moment you use public applications, right, you will not get any issues, right? They are stable, not authentication issues, no proxy issues and all. But the moment you start automating your internal applications, you will get some other issues, proxies, certificate issues and all. So only thing is practice as much as possible, whether it's a public applications or your internal applications. Okay, so I can see a couple of questions related to career opportunities, finding job in US or European market and all. So what we will do, we'll take this at the last. Let's quickly cover the XPath access that we started yesterday, right? And then I will show you one script that will give you enough idea that how you can use that XPath, and then we'll take these questions. So let me increase the font size. So yesterday we discussed about a combination of relative XPath and absolute XPath. I hope you got this sheet. If not, let me know. I guess it is already uploaded. Now we are going to talk about something called XPath access. Now we will not be able to cover all the XPath access. Not all are too much important. Okay, so I will be talking about mostly following preceding, following sibling, preceding sibling. That is enough. But in case if you want to go with parent child also, you can explore. We also have an ancestor and descendant self. So before I start about XPath access, any doubt in the previous session from day 1 till day 7? Any questions so far? Let me know in the chat box. Based on that, I will see what we can cover in the upcoming sessions. Any question related to the previous sessions? Okay, thanks for the confirmation. Deepa says all good. What about others? Okay, so let's talk about XPath access. So before we start, let's search for XPath access. Okay, let's open this. Now if you see the first thing, what exactly is XPath access? So an XPath access represent a relationship to the relation. Sorry, let me repeat again. A XPath represents a relationship to the context node, and it is used to locate nodes related to the node on that node on the tree. For example, I have one web page, okay, and I got this particular web element. So this XPath access is not only for element, it will be used for XML as well. Suppose if I found this web element, now with the help of this element, now I can traverse easily. I can traverse in the forward direction, I can traverse in the reverse direction. So basically I will take a node, I will take a reference, and then I can locate the other elements as well. That we will be doing with the help of XPath access. So you can see we have ancestor, we have attribute, child, descendant, following, sibling, preceding siblings, parent, and namespace. So mostly I will be focusing on ancestors, descendant, following, sibling, preceding sibling. But for that, let me take again example so that you can relate easily. Okay, this is the application that we have seen yesterday, right? So let me log in first. Now, the moment you click on admin, now you can see this particular table, right? Now suppose I need to write one XPath. Let's say if I find my user here. Okay, where's my user? Okay, no problem. Let's take one user called Arvind. Now I want to see the user role of Arvind. It means the moment I find Arvind, I need to see the user role, which is ESS. I need to find the employee name of Arvind, let's say, which is this guy. I want to see the status of Arvind, which is enabled. It means I picked one element. Now I need to traverse in the forward direction, right? Now let's say I need to click on this checkbox, which is just before the Arvind. It means I need to go in a reverse direction and I need to click on this checkbox. So here I will be using XPath access. Now how it will be useful, let's see. So for example, if I inspect this element, which is Arvind, so this is an anchor tag, right? And I can also see some href. So let me write one XPath. So I will say /a and let me find this guy with the help of a text. So I can see here we have 1 of 1. It means one matching node I found, right? Now what if I need to go in a forward direction? So if I just say /following, it means in the following direction, :, and now I need to define which tag you want to use. Okay, which tag you're looking for. So if I just give star, can you see total count 367. It means just after Arvind there are 367 tags available. Obviously I don't need all of them. So what if I say just td? Now you can see 218, because just after this we have 218 td. So if you just see, it is going in a forward direction, right? Now what if I type a? So notice just after this Arvind, the total 48 anchor links are available, which is 45, which is coming here, right? One after other. So now let's stick to td. So just after this we have 218 td. What if I say I need td1? Can you see it's highlighting the first td which is next to Arvind, which is ESS? Can you see it's highlighting? So what if I copy this? Okay, don't worry if you don't understand this example. I will give you multiple examples so that you will get used to this. Now what if I keep td2? You can see I am able to traverse the employee name, first Arvind, then user role, now employee name, then status. So if I say td2, it is giving me the employee name. What if I say td3? It is giving me status is enabled, disabled. In the same way, I can traverse any td and I can continue. So do I need to know the IDs or some class attribute in this way? Obviously not. So even in this approach, if something is changing, let's say the next td ID is changing or class name is changing, it is not going to impact because we took one reference and now we are traversing. So this will find ESS, this will find the employee name, and this will check the status. Now what if I need to go in a reverse direction? Instead of following, now you can also use something called preceding. So if I just type preceding double colon, then you need to write tag. So for input, for checkbox, we have a tag called input, right? So if I say input 1, can you see just before Arvind, we have one input box. If I say 2, it will take one more input, and so on. So now it will go in a reverse direction. So if I take 2, see, now it's coming Anthony. If I give 3, it's giving Anand. If I give 4, it's taking Adarsh. And if I take 5, that is the first one. So if I go now in a reverse direction, then preceding. So if I say preceding input, it will only check the input. If I say preceding anchor link, it will just check the first hyperlink in a reverse order. Guys, again I can see some spammers. Please report this. I know it's a chat bot, but we need to report it. Are you getting in this concept? Are you facing any difficulty? Because sometimes people get confused with following and preceding. So let me quickly check with all of you. Is this clear to everyone, so that I can show you the next examples? Now we can parameterize this XPath as well, because right now I'm passing Aravind, right? Now what if I need to use some other let's say employee name or other user? In that case, we will parameterize this. For example, I need to check is Mukesh _ 50 is available or not, or let's say Deepa, or let's say Mahesh is available, right? In that case, we will parameterize this and it will search according to the username that we will pass. Now let's see one more example, and this is one of my favorite because it will save a lot of time. For example, if I want to add a user, you can see I have a form, right? Now if I ask you to write XPath for all the 6 elements that we have, and the only thing that you need to keep in mind that you don't have to look at the DOM structure. You will just get a UI, you will just get the text, you will get the elements. You are not supposed to inspect any element, but still you need to write XPath for all of them. Is it possible? This question is to all of you. Is this possible without checking that, or without inspecting the element? Can we write the XPath for all these elements? Okay, so Lokesh says did not get the usage of preceding. So Lokesh, whenever you have to go in a reverse direction, okay, let's say there's a button. Suppose this is a Lokesh. Just after Lokesh, there's a thing called show details. And before Lokesh, there's a button called, let's say, add. So if you want to traverse to this button through Lokesh reference, you have to go with preceding. Again, you can use preceding sibling. You can go with ancestor, then come to the child node. That is also possible. But in this example, if you have something before Lokesh, you can use preceding. Okay, so now if we use this example that we discussed today, and if we try to write, let's see, are we able to write the XPath without looking at the DOM or not? I will close this developer tool, okay? So first of all, I can see there's a something called user role, which is a text. I'm not sure whether it is in a div tag, span tag, p tag, label, right? So I will say star. I will say find a tag text called user role. Now I will find a user role, and I know just after user role I have my web element, right? So this is my user role, this is my web element. So I will say following. For employee name, following. For password, following. Status, following. For everything I will be using following. Now I know it's a drop down, right? So what is the tag for drop down? Select. but I have two drop downs, right? One is ESS, one is enable disabled. So can I say one? This is one XPath which will match for user role. Let's see. If I go back, inspect, okay, and Control F, can you see? It is actually highlighting. So now we are able to write XPath without even looking at the DOM structure. So first we found the text, then the drop down. In the same way, can we do for others as well? Yes, why not? So let's do that. So one thing is fixed, that I have a text, so I will be doing the copy paste multiple times. What is the label this time? It's employee name. Now what is this? This is an input tag, right? So can I say this as input 1? See why I'm saying 1, because I have multiple input, right, in the forward direction. So I will say 1, it means immediate next. Let's cross check, and yes, this XPath is also correct. Let's try for the third one. User name, this is also input. So can I use this as input? Yes. Let's verify one by one. Okay, yes, verified. Now let's talk about the status. I will use status, and this is a select one. Yes, this is also fine. Now let's do the last two. Password and confirm password. Now tell me guys, this question to all of you. Now does it matter that if the IDs are changing or class are changing, will this XPath fail? Are we using any attribute? Will this impact if the UIs, the elements, IDs or class name or something is changing? Yes. So now you need to understand the structure of the DOM, okay? Then only you can interact. So let's say there's a question by Manoj that what if the drop down is not in a select tag? In that case, whatever tag you have, if it is li, whether it's ul, whether it's a div tag, use the tag. So syntax says your regular XPath, okay, regular XPath. Now you have to use / following : then you have to use tag name, and you can continue. So this is basically one kind of syntax I'm giving. You can follow the syntax and continue. Now obviously you cannot use this with everywhere, but I can give you a few more examples where you can use this kind of examples. Rakesh says class name changes, in that case it will impact. But Rakesh, we are not using class name, right? See, if the complete text is changing in your application, then it means it's a complete business requirement changes. You are changing the UI at all, right? Because the text will not change very easily. So Soumya Priya is correct, unless our website text is changing, right? So yes, in that case, obviously you need to put some time on the maintenance, update the text. Is this clear to everyone? Now let's take some more examples. Let's take the same guy, Arvind. So if I find a hyperlink, okay, let's say text equal to Arvind. Now who is, now if I just search for / parent ; star, So what I said, this is the last node. Arvind is the last node. I need the parent node of this Arvind. So when I say double slash, I don't know what is the parent node. So I said star. It means give me everything. So it will give you the current plus the parent node of that Arvind node, which is the anchor link, right? So anchor link parent is TD here. So can you see it's highlighting A plus TD. If I just say I need TD, that's all. In that case, it will give you the parent of Arvind node, which is TD in our case. Now, what is the parent node of TD? Can anybody confirm in the chat box? What is the parent node of TD by looking at the DOM structure? Exactly. So can I say again parent? So now you can see complete row is highlighting. Initially TD1, TD2, TD3, TD4. Now I went to the parent of TD. So it's highlighting the complete row, right? Now I can again see I want TD1, TD2, TD3, TD4. So basically these use cases will depends on how you want to traverse this data. Okay. So no standard pattern. Take one particular element which is a reference, then you can traverse in the forward direction or you can traverse in the reverse direction. So parent means parent node of the current node. Child means just the child. Okay. So this will return you. I will type it here. Now once you get tr, now you can traverse that you need TD1. Right, TD1 is highlighting the red checkbox, TD2, TD3, TD4 and TD5. So this is also one of the another example. You will see multiple times this kind of syntax instead of parent double dot. So I want to find Arvind. When I want to reach to the parent, right, I will use double dot. So when you say double dot, it will give you the current node plus the parent node. Now, but again, if I say double slash double dot, can you see it is returning tr, td and anchor link. So here, this is little, I will say not readable, plus it also gives the current nodes, which I don't prefer. So always go with the parent that we use for the XPath access. Yes, Ayyappa, you can see we are using it, but there's a like first of all, those who are not comfortable, they will not be able to read. Plus it also gives me the current node. So if you see this example, I said go to the Arvind, then go to the parents of Arvind, then again parents of the parent of Arvind, right? So it is giving 3. Ideally it should be 1, but if you go with the parent one, parent double colon then say TD and TR, you will get the unique one. Okay, so you will find multiple examples on the traversing side and you can use it. Now I want to show you a quick example, the scenario creating users and deleting users. Now one question again, can we use the following preceding concept here as well? Like first find the username, then type here, find the user role, select the drop down, find the employee name, type here, find the status, type here. Or can I use this like first I will find add, then I can immediately find the delete button as well, right? So basically you need to find a reference and then you can traverse. Now one question, like what is the difference between parent and ancestors? See, parent will give you only the parent of the current node. So for example, I have an anchor link. So parent of this anchor link is this TR or TD. But if I say ancestor, it will give me all the parent nodes of this current element that I'm giving. So anybody tried this complete end-to-end scenario which we discussed, like first login, then create user, then delete user, and then log out? There's one question from Mahesh. We can't use / table like this. Yes, why can't you? Can, obviously. See, what I did, I found a user, then I'm traversing. What you are asking, can we reach to the table and then can we reach to the Arvind? Why not? But why you need to go to the table when I can find the direct user here? Okay. I can see few people tried and it was working perfect. So those who have not tried, please try. Even I will share a small dummy code that I have written. It's not perfect. Okay, just to save some time, I have taken some XPath from selectors hub, copy pasted here, and I was able to do it. The main thing I want to show you that I'm going to create one user. Okay, that user I will use as a username, password, everything. So just a quick thing, forget about the locator part that I have copy pasted just to save my time from selectors hub. So I'm trying to log in, then I will click on the add button. Okay, first I'm clicking on admin, then add button, then I'm selecting user as admin, then I'm selecting an employee name called Nilima Roy, then I'm sending username, password is same. So I've taken one variable which is data here and I'm passing everywhere. Then I'm checking that password meter. Once the password meter is displaying properly, then I'm clicking on save button. Then I'm checking that particular message, right? Successfully created, successfully deleted. I'm capturing that. I'm printing as well. And I'm checking if that is displayed successfully, pass, otherwise fail. Then I'm using the same preceding concept that whatever user I'm creating, it should search that user, go to the checkbox, click on the checkbox, and it should delete. So whatever user we are creating here, right? It will search that user, go to the checkbox, delete, and then again check that message is displayed or not. Then finally it has to log out. After logout, I have not added the validation. This is not the perfect script, just for the demo purpose I have created. We need to make a lot of enhancement in this script that we can do, but I want you to practice this first. First your task should be achieved, then you have to talk about the enhancement. Now if I execute this and let's see the output. So it logged in successfully. You can see it's creating a user, it's saved. It was too fast, like it selected, it deleted, and it did the logout. That is the advantage of automation. If I ask you to create and delete user, it will take minimum 10 to 15 seconds for you, right? It did in hardly 3 to 4 seconds. So it created a user, it deleted a user, and it is able to log out as well. Right now we don't have any report as such, but once we'll start implementing the test-ng, right, you will see the report as well. I will share you this code snippet with you, but first you try from your end. Okay, then understand what kind of issues you're getting. Avoid using thread.sleep. If you see, I have not used even for a single second. It was too fast. Now I can take some questions from the chat and let's see. Those who are saying I will try on weekend, please give a try. Lokesh says, as we have multiple Arvind under username, we using multiple parent in the syntax, right? See, Lokesh, whenever you get multiple matching node, you can also use indexes, right? So let's say I have 4 Lokesh in this table. So either I can refer to the element which is next to Lokesh, that is one way. But if you just want to focus on the Lokesh, if you're getting multiple nodes, you have two options. Either you can pass the indexes in the XPath, or you can pass the indexes in your code. Because the moment you use find elements, it will return you list of web element, right, in Selenium. Then you can use get of 0, get of 1. Then again you can append the XPath, or in your XPath itself, once you have the index based XPath, then you can continue with the following. Okay, Rima Sharma says, why you made new before e bracket? New do you mean this? This is actually a statement which is checking. This is the explicit wait actually, where I'm checking wait until this meter. So there's a password meter in the application which says your password is strong, weak or not. So I'm checking, it's a dynamic wait, that until that particular strongest is not coming, wait. The moment it is displayed, then go to the if condition and then click on the button. So basically this is actually into one line. Since it was coming in as a big line, I just kept in the new line. You can do that as well. Rima, you got the answer? See, why you typecast? I'm not typecasting. See, basically what it does. Okay, we have not discussed this. So if you try to break this into statement, what is the reality? So what we do, we say WebDriver wait equal to new WebDriver wait, right? This is what we do. Pass the driver, pass the duration here, duration of let's say 10 seconds. Then we call this condition, right? Wait dot until expected conditions, visibility of element located by, we do it like this, right? Then it returns me, see, this element will return me one web element. Then I can say dot type or dot click, right? Now don't you think this additional statement, basically this statement is returning me wait reference? So can I use this guy here directly? Just a second. So instead of having 3 instructions, I combined into 1 instruction. But at the end of the day, we are doing the same thing. So if you ask me, we can actually break down this into 4 different statements. But I have written one, that on the fly we are creating object, give a duration of 10 seconds, add a condition. Once it is displayed, then move ahead. Yes, why not? See, if you need reference so that you can call the further methods, right? What if I don't need to store this reference? On the fly I can keep call these methods, right? That is possible. This is what exactly I did. Otherwise this should have been like this. First this, then wait dot until expected conditions, alert is present, for example, or let's take the element only, visibility of element located by. Now this will return me one element which I will store again into a variable then I will say ele dot click or type. This 3 is equal to this guy, exactly same. I know it's little complicated here, right? See, if you're using first time, you might get lost in this big sentences, but if you try to break this one by one, it's very easy. We did the same thing, I guess, on Tuesday when we discussed driver.manage.windows.maximize, right? Exactly same thing we did in the previous session. So those who are following from the beginning, they will be able to relate. So there's question from Rima Sharma, Mukesh, object बन जाता है क्या, wait object है या new WebDriver? See, Rima, this is actually a class. Okay, so you can create object of WebDriver wait. This is exactly what we did here. We are creating object of WebDriver wait, and then we are storing into a wait object. So WebDriver wait is a class. I'm giving wait as an object name. You can give Rima as an object, Mukesh as an object. Then you can call object dot until. Okay, those who are completely new to wait, I would highly recommend. I have few around 5 to 6 videos on dynamic wait, implicitly wait, explicit wait, fluent wait, page load timeout, script timeout. So I would recommend you to watch that videos. Even after that, if you have any question, we can discuss. Is this clear to everyone, whatever we discussed? Okay, those who are not able to understand this, it's okay. Put a thread.sleep for the timing, not recommended, but still, just to make a script run, you can add a thread.sleep of 1 or 2 seconds or maximum 3 seconds, and then continue. Why it is not recommended? See, 1 or 2 seconds is perfectly fine. We can somehow manage that. But what I have seen, people write 10 seconds wait, 20 second wait, 30 second wait. That's not how it works. Because let's say you have some element which can come within 5 seconds, but you have written thread.sleep of 20 seconds. Unnecessary, you are waiting for 15 seconds. Okay, it looks 15 seconds very minimal, but think about, you have a complete test suite of 1000 test case and you have kept multiple thread.sleep. It actually impacts a lot, right? So please, 1 or 2 seconds, it's perfectly fine, it's acceptable, but do not keep 10, 15, 30 seconds. In that case, go with dynamic waits. Okay, so it's question Q&A time. Those who are asking why we don't have a quiz, so actually we are having this live session today, little odd timing, 5 to 6, so around 7 people requested me on Instagram that please do it on Monday because they have office, they are not able to join the quiz. So I thought let's keep it on Monday. But I don't get it why people are joining this session because of quiz money. Okay, quiz anyways, we will do it. Now Ayappa says, what is a flaky test? Flaky test means sometime it works, sometime it doesn't work. Okay, sometime it is working when things are fine, but the moment we have some network issues, some timeout issues, some elements are loading little slow, right? It's not stable. Sayali Shivakar asking how to handle the iframes with the dynamic ID. So Sayali, that's not only with frame. Whenever you have dynamic IDs, okay, you need to find a pattern. Even frame. So if frame have ID name, it's okay. Even if it doesn't have, it will minimum have one SRC, right? Frame should have the SRC. In the SRC also, you need to find a pattern which is not changing. Try to write XPath of the frame. So when you try to switch to frame, we have 3 different ways to switch to the frame, right? Driver.switch.frame using index, driver.switch to .frame using name or ID. Third one, which is the most stable and the recommended one, driver.switch to .frame using web element. So try to find web element as a frame as a web element, then pass it, then you can switch easily. Okay, so I guess Rima is still confused with this concept. So she's asking, when we use object new directly, means without reference, where how we get that value. See, generally you store that into reference, then you call, right? For example, let me show you here. Let me create a new file. Let's say doubt session. Okay, let me remove everything. Okay, this is going to be just a second, public let me have WebDriver driver equal to new cron driver dot manage. It returns options, right? If you put mouse over, it returns options. OPT. We discussed the same thing like few days back. Let me repeat again. Now when I say OPT dot Windows, or let's say timeout this time, so it will return you another reference of timeouts. Can you see this? Timeouts. So let's say timeout, I will say time. Now I can say time dot implicitly wait of durations. Fine, second. Now you called a method, it returned you a reference of another interface. Using that reference, you called one more method that is returning some more references. Again you are calling. So this is how you are calling one method after another, right? But you are using that previous reference to call that method. Now if you don't want to do that, you can do on the fly driver dot manage. This actually returns you options, right? I can directly say dot Windows. So this 3 method calling is returning you Windows reference. I can say dot maximize, or if you take the above example, timeouts dot implicit wait. I was thinking to show you the same thing with this keyword, but for that example will be a little tough to everyone, so I have not covered. So this and this, they all are same. Is this clear, Rima? Now review FY says, sir, can we have today? No, today will not have it. If you are joining for a quiz, then sorry, quiz will be on Monday, because if you see concurrent users are very less, it means because of the office timing, right? So please join again on Monday. Now Zia Hussain is asking, do we need to know about multi-threading concept for automation? So Zia, what exactly TestNG does? TestNG is managing your thread pool, right? So the moment you use thread count in TestNG, it manages the threads automatically. But yes, if you have some idea, like tomorrow if you're creating a custom framework, right, or let's say you want to create some framework which runs without TestNG, then you should understand how this thread works. In that case, you will be able to handle these threads. So if you know threads, if you know synchronizations, right, you can handle these sync issues easily. So now all these reporting tools, whether you talk about extend report, allo reports, TestNG reports, right, they automatically take care of these synchronizations. They already have the listeners available. But if you know these keywords, right, it will help you to understand how they are using. So if you talk about extend report, they use synchronize keyword. So how they are able to use it, what is thread local, if you know them, right, you can write your framework easily. So so final answer is yes. See, this is also possible. This actually is returning you driver reference, right? So now if you, even if you don't write to this is also fine without error. Let me take few more questions. Pawan says, is it possible to automate the Chrome DevTools with any automation tool instead of RP tool? So Pawan, this complete DevTools, okay, you can automate with the help of Selenium now. So from Selenium 4 onwards, they have given you multiple APIs to automate the complete DevTool. So if you just search for Selenium CDP Chrome Dev Protocol, you can actually do the complete, not complete, at least which are supported. Let's say if you want to emulate geolocations, you want to override the device mode, you want in mobile view or not. If you want to collect the performance metrics, right, you can do that. If you want to know more about CDP, just search for Chrome Dev Protocol. Okay, this complete CDP, you can do that with the help of Selenium now. So for example, you want to perform emulation. So for emulation also, you can see we have a couple of methods, right? So for example, I want to set geolocation. So check here, do we have any method for geolocation? Yeah, this is for disabling image type. This is for CPU throttling. Yeah, set geo. So you can actually pass this directly now, and you can pass these parameters, which are optional. Obviously you can avoid them, but those who are mandatory, you can pass these parameters, and you can on the fly you can override these values. So I have 2 videos on this as well. Pawan, you got my answer? Manoj Bhatt says, is there any other way to see the execution with some delay other than thread.sleep? If yes, which dynamic wait which we can? So Manoj, basically I want to ask you, why do you want to delay the executions? See, if your executions are happening fast, right, you will save time. But I can understand your situation, because sometimes it's too fast that you cannot even see the execution, right? You always have that fear in the mind that will my test fail or not. In that case, what we did for one of our project, we created a standard library which will basically wait for the web element. Okay, once it is done, it will wait a thread.sleep of 100 millisecond, or let's say 500 millisecond, which is half second. So that you can delay the execution by half second. So at least for each and every element, 1/2 second delay you can add. Not recommended, but still if you want, you can do that. Create a method. That method will find the element, put a pause, and then continue. So if you use Selenium IDE, right, that have this flexibility that you can check what should be the speed of the execution: slow, fast, very slow. But here we don't have, so you need to write the custom method which will add an additional pause. Okay, so there's one question from Rima Sharma again. Mukesh, you are starting a course in iNeuron. I just asking playwright etc. we should do or repeat skill automation engineer in 2022 current trend. See Rima, nowadays if you are from 2022 batch, then okay, start with Selenium or Cypress, because see, there's a demand for Selenium, no doubt about it. But now the trend is changing, right? So if you focus just now in 2022, still I will say market is captured by Selenium. But you need to think from a long perspective as well, right? We will have Selenium playwright in the market. So if you just want to grab a job, start with this. Slowly you have to move here as well. That is my personal opinion. But yeah, if you are getting a requirement to automate with Cypress, then you don't have any choice. So one is by push, one is just to get started, start with Selenium. highest demand. Yes, Manoj, I can totally understand. In that case, you can also add a highlighter feature, Manoj. What it will do, it will highlight the web element and then it will continue with the operations. Okay, so last question. It means see, because we are already okay. It's 6 already. Go with Selenium with Java, which is on high on demand. Harsh Pandey says, can you please make videos on what are threads in Java and how to use in Selenium? Okay, noted, Harsh. I will see if I can make video on this. Okay, so last question, then we will end this. One question from, okay, I will take 2 questions. 1 second. Okay, so there was some background noise, I was on mute. So Darvesh is asking, hi sir, does and prepare for jobs as well? So Darvesh, they have 2 programs. One is job assistant, one is job guarantee. Job guarantee, they have certain requirement, like if you are able to submit all the quiz assignments, if you attended mock interviews, then they will send you to the multiple companies, and within few months you will get a job. Job assistance, basically we will train you, okay, on a certain technology, then you have to apply for the jobs, and whenever you attend any interviews, you can discuss with us, you can have a Q&A session with us, and we can help you, like how you can improve from the next interview. So Rima says, Mukesh, I need to run my mock test loge. So Rima, we will be having a weekly test, okay, or assignments. Assignments will be based on the modules. Once you are able to complete all of them, then we will have a mock session, 1-to-1 mock session. Okay, so not multiple, 1-to-1. Once you are prepared, once you say, okay, Mukesh, I'm ready to go, on that mock sessions will be 1-to-1 will be given to you. We will provide the recordings, we will also provide the feedback as well. But if you still have any other questions, you reach out to me before enrolling if you want to discuss anything. Dev is asking, my name is Devendra, trying to change current company but not able to get any offer letter. Please do help. So Devendra, it means you are not able to clear interviews. Try to analyze what is missing from your end. Okay, are you not able to clear the first round itself, or you are getting rejected in the manager round or in the HR round? See, if you're not even getting selected in the first round, it means there's some technical issue from your side, like not technical issue, like you're not able to answer technical questions. Maybe you are answering correctly, but the keywords that you're using or the definitions or the way you're presenting, that is not something which they're expecting, right? So try to analyze in which phase you're getting rejected, why you're getting rejected, work upon that, because market is very, very good right now, trust me, right? So it's a high time that you have to analyze yourself and prepare accordingly. Rima Sharma says, Mukesh, my friend also want to join. So Rima, maybe you can have a conference call with like me, you and your friend. You can ask your queries before enrolling, because that will be for 5 to 6 months. Okay, so that will save a lot. That is going to take a lot of time. So before enrolling, discuss with your friend and then plan. Okay, because you told you already know Selenium, Java, Selenium, Python. Now you will be adding 3 more tools, right? So I want to just know why you are joining this course, because if you are looking for the job change, that's a different story. But if you're planning to implement, I want to highlight few points. Okay, so last question, then we will end this. So Devin says first round not able to clear. Devendra, please analyze what you can do. You can record your videos, record your audios. What I have seen, let's say if you're giving telephonic interviews, record your audio and listen. And if you're not able to judge yourself, maybe tell to your friend that, hey, this is my telephonic interview. Can you please tell me where I'm making mistake? Or maybe ask your mentors or to whom you trust. If it's a video interview, record the video and see where you are making mistakes, because it means you're not able to clear. Sorry, if you're not able to, it means something is wrong. Okay, so I'm not saying that you have some lack of communication or it is just sometimes, you know, one answer can change the complete interview. रीमा शर्मा, मुकेश 4,000 रुपीज़ है, क्वालिटी सही है ना? रीमा, don't worry about the quality. It is just we have reduced the price. We don't want to charge high. We want to make it quality education at affordable prices. That's the reason it's 4,000. But generally, if you see the other things, like one course will cost you 13 to 15,000 just for Cypress. We are covering Cypress plus Playwright plus WebDrive IO. Okay, so Raghav, please. You joined at the last, still you're asking for the Menti will happen on Monday. See, that is the thing which I told you, right? People are joining only for Menti, so please don't do that. So Raghav, if you are disappointed today, then sorry, we will have it on Monday. Okay guys, so that's all from my side. Thank you so much for joining. From Monday we will be starting Q&A session, not Q&A session, Selenium interview questions and answers. We will try to have 20 questions every day, so that by Friday we will try to finish 100 questions. So I already have made 100 questions which is frequently asked. Apart from that, if you think something which you are not able to answer in the interview which you want me to add, you can drop an email and I will try to cover them as well. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. Wishing you happy weekend and I will see you on Monday. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah.